All right, we're here in the Bureau. We're checking out our Des Moines Bureau project. It is almost complete, 11 hours, 51 minutes to go. Let's go in and check it out. You can see I only had one commander here, otherwise the project would have been completed with this extra booster from the commander. Another 4 seconds would have been added to all of the stages. I didn't want to dedicate the resources for Kincaid or Willis Lee because I don't really use them for much of anything. Let's go down here and see what it would cost doubloon-wise to apply the breakthrough. And this is 555 doubloons, or like $2.10 or so. So I am going to go ahead and do it and complete the project. All right, well, there you go. The Des Moines Bureau project is complete. I've got the ship. It is very exciting. All right, so now that we have the Des Moines, let's go check it out. All right, there it is. We don't have a commander. Let's go set up the commander. And since I have Norman Scott completely maxed out, I think I am going to go with that. I was thinking about going with Azure Lane Baltimore, but after doing proper research, it became apparent that main gun traverse speed is really bad, and an agile build won't really do you much good. You might be able to avoid incoming fire, but you will not keep your guns on the target. So since I have Norman Scott maxed out, it would be kind of crazy to not try this as my first go around. So for review, Norman Scott's base trait is directed impact. It improves the cruiser's shell grouping, and this is why he is maxed out. He is an inspiration on every single cruiser commander I have in the game for the most part. And as for the inspirations for Scott, I have Gimlet with Gunther Luchins. Cruiser main battery, armor-piercing shell damage is improved, and then Yamamoto right through, cruiser's AP shell penetration multiplier right there, and I am looking for massive Citadel potential here with this setup. And beyond range is the first skill. The cruiser's main battery range is improved by 10%, and then I've selected Igniter. Chances of the cruiser's HE shells causing the fire is improved, and then I have Punch Through. Cruiser's main gun armor-piercing shell damage is improved by 10%, and the penetration multiplier is 6%. And then I have fixated for the 4th skill. Cruiser's main battery shell grouping is improved, as is its dispersion. And then for the legendary skill, he is ranked up all the way to legendary rank 4. Refill station is what I've selected, and the cruiser's main battery reload time is improved by 10%. And a special effect, which is the cruiser's main battery range, is another 10%. So it is active when you're within the range of an ally, and that range is 3.5 kilometers. Once you have Scott maxed out like this, all right, let's check out the upgrades. And normally I would select Aiming Systems Mod 1, but I do believe I'm going to go with Main Battery Mod 2 based on my research. I'm going to go with this and give this a try and see if I need to go with Main Battery Mod 1 for the accuracy. But for now, I'm going to help out the traverse speed. And then I'm going to go with, let me see, Steering Gears or Propulsion Mod. I'm going to go with Propulsion Mod. And then Concealment System Mod 1. I generally don't do this for cruisers, but I'm going to go ahead and try it out anyway. That is, again, based on my research. And then here, the Main Battery Mod 3 is going to be the 4th upgrade, and the main battery reload time will be decreased by 12%, but the main battery traverse speed takes a hit. So maybe the upgrade slot 1 will cancel all of that out. We will check that out in a second here. And for the loadout, you have your normal high explosive and armor piercing shells, which we will get into in a second. As far as at the consumables, damage control party consumable has a duration of 5 seconds with a reload time of 60 seconds, and there is an unlimited number of those consumables. And here you can select either sonar or the defensive AA fire. I'm going to stick with sonar for right now. Torpedo detectability is 3.5 kilometers. Detection range of ships is 4.9 kilometers with a duration of 100 seconds with a reload time of 180 seconds. And there's 2 of these consumables. And here I can select either the catapult fighter or the spotter, or of course we're going to select the radar right here, and the detection of ships is 9.9 kilometers. Duration is 40 seconds with a reload time of 180 seconds, and there are 2 of those consumables. Last consumable is the repair party, which will partially restore the ship's HP by repairing any light damage at the rate of 252 hit points per second. Duration is 28 seconds, reload time is 80 seconds, and there are 2 of these consumables. I'm not running any boosters right now, but by the time we get into a match, I will probably have epic battle boosters and epic boosters going across the board here. And for the camouflage, I have created a shadow. Premium permanent camouflage, sea detectability, and incoming fire dispersion is 4.5% respectively. Okay, let's look at the stats. Survivability hit points is 50,600. Armor is 6 to 203 millimeters, so you definitely want to watch out or you will get eliminated with that 6 millimeter armor. Torpedo damage reduction is 19%. Artillery, you have 9 guns. They reach out to 17 kilometers, and it is without an epic battle booster. So the range will probably go up a little bit more there. Reload time is 4.6 seconds. Traverse time is 30 seconds, which is about average for a battleship. We'll have to see how this really works out in a standard match here. HE shell damage has a maximum of 2,800 with a 17% chance of setting fire. That is every 4.6 seconds. Armor piercing shell damage is 5725. Secondaries are 12 guns. They reach out to 5 kilometers with a 6-second reload time. 1,800 maximum damage at an 8% chance of setting fire. Here are your Aaa defenses. It looks like you will definitely clear the sky pretty well with a Des Moines here with this Aa suite. Maneuverability, maximum speed is 33 knots. Turning circle radius is 770 meters. Rudder shift time is 8.6 seconds. And as I said earlier, I do not think that agile build will help you out if the traverse speed of the main guns is going to be a problem with an agile build. So we're going to have to see how it goes here with this setup. This is the first initial setup. And the concealment, detectability range by sea is 11.2 kilometers, range by air is 7 kilometers, and detectability while firing in the smoke is 7.5 kilometers. All right, let's take a look at the armor, and here you can see there is a lot of 15 to 16 millimeter armor in the superstructure here, and you have 17 to 28 on the bow and the stern and a little bit on the sides. Looks like the broadside has some of the thicker armor available. Let's remove some of the protection here. Ooh, you can see here once you remove the bow and the stern armor, that is where the 6 to 14 millimeter is, so you may have a problem there if the shells can get through that. Let's remove the rest of the armor, and the Citadel actually looks okay. 27 to 28 millimeters way below the water there, and you have 76 to 160 in the front and on the top and the sides. But I think in general with this ship, if you go out in the open water, you will get removed rather quickly, so you want to stay behind cover. Overview, reloader, above average main battery reload speed, and that is awesome. 4.6 seconds is about like the Cleveland from what I can remember. Powerful Aa defenses, above average Aa gun firepower, and that is what those Aa defenses look like with a rating of 95. Sluggish shot, difficult to aim at long distances, but the trajectory allows for effective fire from cover, so that is awesome. The Des Moines is one of the best heavy cruisers in the world. The ship was designed taking the experience gained in World War II into account, which resulted in excellent armor protection and very powerful AA armament. The key distinctive feature of cruisers with this type was auto-loading main guns that had very high rate of fire. That is awesome. Entered service in 1948, and there were 4 ships in the series. Alright, well that's it for my initial setup of the ship and commander. Let's go out in a standard battle and see how we do. Alright, we're in standard and we're in shards. This is probably the 3rd or 4th match I've had with the Des Moines, and it maneuvers a lot better than I thought it would, so I'm thinking that there's probably no need to look into an agile build for this ship. It is plenty maneuverable on its own, and I think the engine boost may have something to do with that in mod slot number 2. Right, so we are all the way over on the right hand side of the map, and I'm checking out the teams here. There's 2 Shimikazes on the other team, so we definitely want to be watching out for the Shimikaze wall of torpedoes that shows up from time to time in many Shimikaze matches. Baltimore, a Minotaur, and a Worcester is also on the red team, so we want to be careful in any event. And here my teammate is going over toward the edge of the map over here on the other side of C, and at first I'm thinking about following him, but I finally decide that I want to post up in the middle of the map and use the islands in the center of the map near B for cover, and that in fact is where I'm going to end up staying most of the match while trying to avoid most of the red team ships. So just traveling over to this island here, I am definitely wary of being spotted by a red team battleship, and if that happens, being broadside like this, I'm expecting to get wiped out almost immediately. That's generally what happens. And here you go, here's a Grossica first right here, and this is like sort of bad news. As far as I could tell, these guns do kind of look like they're aiming at me. I'm not really sure why he's not firing. It could be he's not loaded. Maybe he really doesn't see me somehow. But someone else sees me over here, over by C, and that is the Worcester. So you don't have to be spotted very long before you just start getting wiped out by the red team. And that's definitely amazing how that happens. And that looks like another cruiser back there, not the Worcester, but another cruiser back there is shooting at us. But in any event, that's the Baltimore over there, was the ship that was also firing at us, it looks like. And I'm thinking that had I have followed my teammate over there, we both would have gotten wiped out in short order, even though there is a Khabarovsk over there. It looks like a Minotaur versus Baltimore and a Worcester. We'll see what happens with the Minotaur. They're definitely targeting that guy. But I am just going to sit right here. This looks like some good island protection right here. So we're going to take some shots on the Worcester. And it looks like the Worcester is focused on the Minotaur. All those guys are focused on the Minotaur. Now, here comes that battleship. I'm not really sure which one it is just yet. But yeah, it does look like that Minotaur did get obliterated already. And that was why I didn't want to follow that guy over there in the first place. And I'm moving around behind this island to get away from those guys, and here I fall into the clutches of this Yamato right here, but his guns are pointed in the wrong direction for him to be able to get me. So this is definitely luck on my part, but I am being nailed from behind over here, and I believe that's going to be a Grossiker first that was shooting at me. But I'm starting at least one fire on the Yamato here, but we are getting a whole bunch of hits. So the fire is counting up, so that is awesome. We got to start another fire, so we've got multiple fires on the Yamato, and here you can see I'm trying to keep this island between myself and the Worcester and all of those ships over there by sea. But I am going to try to curve over to use this island up here for shelter. So to do that, I do have to give my broadside to the red team over there by C, but luckily nobody's really hitting me. But here over by B, I got to be honest, right now I'm just looking to survive the match rather than have this be my highlight reel for the Des Moines. So I am just looking to get over behind this island for cover as quick as possible. And it looks like the friendly Bismarck did get wiped out by the red team, so we're down big time right here. 220 to 390. They've captured a base. They're in the process of capturing B over there, though it looks like we are capturing A. But I've got the Flandre spotted right here. I did shoot down a red team aircraft. So the Des Moines definitely is going to clear the sky if you get in a match with an aircraft carrier. That is no doubt about that. And we are really nailing the Flandre here. I'm not really sure that he's in a good position to fire back at us. Look like his guns were in the wrong position. So that is good. But this first does have us in sight, and he is nailing us. Luckily, we are bow on. Otherwise, it probably would have been bad news. But he is coming around this island here, and I really want to get out of there. But I do have these ships over by B to worry about. But I do believe ultimately the ships over on B do get cleared out. And now the First is really vulnerable to getting put on fire, as is the Worcester over here. And I momentarily changed to armor piercing to hope to get Citadel on the Worcester, but that does not work out. So I have noticed that the armor piercing on the Des Moines does a pretty good job at chunking battleships at the rate of 6,000 to 7,000 HP per salvo, it seems like. So the Des Moines is definitely a ship that you can use your armor piercing on battleships. But I have gone back to HE because I'm looking to burn this guy down. He is aiming at my teammate over to my left over here, right in front of me, to his left, to the first left. And he is getting nailed by my teammates, but I'm starting him on fire here, so he is going to burn down big time here. That's a second fire. And once the perma-fire starts going, once you get multiple fires, you definitely burn down rather quickly here. We are up to 80,000 damage on 117 main gun hits. 7 fires were started, and he is looking pretty thin. He's not going to be around very much longer. I am aiming a little bit above the waterline, and it seems like a lot of these shells are falling short. So I think I want to keep that in mind for the future. So there, I'm aiming a little bit higher, and I do start yet another fire. So he did disappear behind the island, but that is going to be it for the First. He is gone.
We've destroyed an enemy battleship.
So now it truly does look like B is cleared, and we have captured both A and B, but we're still down in the match. We do have the same number of ships, so we will catch up rather quickly as soon as the count starts going, because we do have more captured bases. And the Worcester is pretty much gone right there. That is pretty quick. The Worcester did not last very long, it didn't seem like. The red bar on that ship kind of disappeared almost immediately, it seemed. And here's a Shimakaze, and the Des Moines is awesome at taking out destroyers. So when they pop their smoke, you know, you just hit the radar, and you do have a rather long radar here, so that is a good thing. A lot of times with the radars, I really don't like them because they don't really last all that long, so you want to be careful.
Problem solved, sir.
And use the radars judiciously. I have not really been all that great with the radar, to be honest with you. But here we do start yet another fire, and this Shimakaze is going to be gone really quick. So there you go. We are up over 100,000 damage. And there is another cruiser firing at us. But here's this Baltimore right here. Luckily, he is on the other side of all of those islands, and I don't really have to worry about him right now. I did start another fire, but he put it out pretty quickly, and I do have to worry about this Flandre over here. He is coming around, and he is at about 1/2 health. So being in the open water, I am always worried that a battleship will basically obliterate me, but here he is really getting hammered by my teammates. And when we finally get some shots on him, he is almost gone. So we escaped right there on the Flandre, and all we have left is this Baltimore, which is still taking shots at us, probably from the last spotting that the Flandre had on us before he was destroyed. That Baltimore had me spotted long enough to where he still got a shot off at me. But here you can see the turning circle radius on this Des Moines is really pretty good, and that is without an agile build. So even with an 8-second rudder shift time, the Des Moines does really maneuver around pretty good. So we're all going to come up here to sea, and my plan is to let the Khabarovsk right here go in to sea and spot the Baltimore before I creep in and start taking some shots at the Baltimore. I want to have a better idea of where the Baltimore is instead of rushing right in and taking a chance. So that's why I'm going to let the Khabarovsk do some of the heavy lifting right here. And once that Baltimore is spotted, then I will move in to sea and help capture sea. All right, so that was a big time victory for the Des Moines. 398,000 credits, 105 battle performance damage on 159 main target hits, 4 detected ships, airplane shot down, 2 destroyed ships, 11 fires, 2 defendeds, an assisted captured flag, and since we were running some boosters, you can see we got some pretty good XP. Let's see how we did on the team result. Oh, second place overall, 2,500 XP. That is not bad. My teammate in the Yamato really did awesome, though. 3,500 XP with 3 medals. Looks like a high caliber, a devastating strike, and a Confederate medal. So good game on the Yamato player there. That is awesome. Let's check out the economy tab. All right, well, by the time it was all said and done, we did clear 184,000 credits. All right, well, there you go on the Des Moines. Like everybody's saying, this is an awesome ship, and it is definitely one that is worth researching in the Bureau. This is the Jaguar, and I'll see you on the high seas. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you like it.
Torpedoes, dead ahead. Torpedoes, direct front. We've
sunk an enemy destroyer.